show me how my past
Oof.
affects my actions in the present.
A moment years ago, as if it was vivid, of this is when that chain started gripping you.
God is close to the brokenhearted. My man looking like Lord Farquaad.
What? Lord what?
Man look like Lord Farquaad from Shrek the movie.
Wow, dude.
The Pixar Disney.
Is it necessary to roast me like that?
You look like that character. And frankly, not much.
That's actually kind of messed up. I don't know why you would say that. Have I ever roasted you like that?
Yeah.
I have? What have I said?
You know what you said. However, I forget.
Nah, dude, quit playing. What's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of In the Fire. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube, we appreciate you guys. We love you.
We do appreciate you guys.
We do. And today, we've got a good topic. We've got one that is it's a tough topic.
Yeah, it's kind of serious, you know.
It is a more serious topic. Yeah,
it's very tough, and a lot of us, I would say, honestly, like everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like I don't feel like there's been one person except Jesus, or who has had like a perfect childhood. You know, you know what I mean, like a perfect everything. Like I don't think so. You know,
and I just you know, I pray over everybody that's listening to this episode right now. And I think this episode's, I just hope that everybody listening and watching has an open heart to this.
Yeah.
And really just, you know, dives deep into what we're saying so that we can, you know, together we can try to find liberation. Not try, we will.
No, we definitely will find liberation. And also, like, I mean, me and Danny are walking through this. You know, like every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's intentional but yeah, like I was saying, everybody, I definitely feel like everybody has gone through something, you know, whatever that trauma could be, whether it's like abuse, witnessing domestic abuse through, like, you know, through parental figures, like maybe you were a kid and you saw like violence and stuff, which something like to be vulnerable, like something I kind of saw also, like, and mental abuse, physical abuse,
rejection,
through either friends or past relationships or parents, or even, you know, like sexual abuse, which is something like very serious. Yeah. And a lot of us go through this. And I know
not just childhood too. I think it's throughout our lives.
Yeah, not even like childhood definitely plays. I feel like it plays childhood. I definitely feel plays a very big role.
Oh yeah,
because you know, whatever happened as a child, that it carries with us as we continue to grow. Yes, things are going to happen as adults and teenagers, of course. But like, you know, as child and teens, it impacts us a lot. Yeah, you know,
those chains seem to be a little bigger.
Yeah, and it's hard because that happened when we were kids, and it sucks. And yeah, like I don't know, I just really want to say on behalf of me and Danny, like just like I guess we're sorry for anybody that has gone through that.
Oh,
you know, like it's I hope that nobody in anybody's life has made them feel like their feelings aren't valid or something. Like it was your fault or something. Or it wasn't their fault, it was your fault. Like I never want anybody to feel as if they can't feel the way they feel. You know? Like something happened and like it hurt you. You know? And like God gave us feelings. And we have feelings. And I feel like nobody should ever invalidate, if that's a word, your feelings. Yeah. And make it as if it's not true and you're not right, and you're not right to feel that way when it's just how you feel, you know? Right. So yeah, I just want to say that. And like, you know, it's what I think is a lot of us have trouble moving forward from these experiences, you know, because it's very easy for us to, instead of, you know, just look at it, it's very easy for us to turn away from it, you know? It's very easy for us to distract ourselves.
I think when things happen, like you said, we kind of try to ignore it. Yeah. And that's something that I've had to learn myself throughout the years. Is instead of pushing down, it's important to release.
Yes.
But our first instincts are to push it down, are to like pile it up. And if we can ignore it for enough time, it'll go away.
Yeah.
But I think most of you will know and will understand that the hard way is that it doesn't go away.
Or the hard thing to grasp is that it won't go away. It's gonna come back.
And for some of you, you see a person, you get a text, you get a call, you listen to a song, anything just starts to remind you of
what
your
happened.
past.
Yeah, what happened.
And not even just remind you, but now it's affecting your relationships. It's affecting just how you are. It's leading you away from peace and from joy and from living your fullest life. You know, maybe you've been rejected or hurt by people in the past, so it's kind of resulting in you doing that first to somebody else before they could do it to you. It's like a defense mechanism.
That's like a really good example. It's just causing problems in the present time. Yeah. Like a lot of past things are, like you said, causing present in the present time.
Now, first we got to touch on the topic of actually I want to share this story to line up the mood a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of give an analogy of how this is portrayed, right? So I was in Greece. I was in Greece.
Yes, you were in Greece for a long time.
I was in Greece, very actually. Long time. Yeah. Now, the guy we were with, great guy, super good friend. He got ghost peppers for us.
Interesting.
Ghost peppers. Now, I love spicy. I'm good with spicy.
I like hot Cheetos.
Okay, hot Cheetos. I'm talking about ghost peppers, bro.
All right.
Second, third, I don't even know what ranking it is, but hottest pepper in the world.
Scoville something, right?
Yeah, whatever. But it's super, super hot. So I'm like, bro, we got this. Let's try it. Yeah. No, it did not go
How did that go? Were you crying?
It was bad, bro. It was... I mean, I was able to control it a bit, but it's so spicy. But what I want to get to is... my first instincts were to throw ice in my mouth or drink water or whatever. And I started doing all these things that I later found out actually made it worse.
Yeah, drinking water when you're experiencing something spicy, that doesn't help at all, right?
No, it doesn't.
I think,
So in a moment of panic, in a moment of desperation, I started to look to things in my head that I thought would fix the problem.
That were really quick to grab, easily accessible.
Easily accessible, that were quick to grab, that I thought, oh, obviously this could distract me. This could distract the pain, lessen it, make it better. But it didn't. And you know where I'm getting to with this analogy is so many times in an attempt to distract a past pain or a trauma or something, we result in doing something thinking it'll make it better when it just makes it worse.
Wow.
But the important thing is to know what right things to do to actually make it better.
Yes.
If I had milk instead of water, I would have been in a way better situation. Or yogurt. Or I don't know. There's a bunch of different stuff.
Right? Yeah, a lot of stuff that are way better than water.
But what we're getting at is so many people have turned to things that will not help you.
Yeah. It's so good. The thing is, what I'm seeing is that it becomes a pattern because these things, maybe the coldness of the water feels like it's giving you some sort of relief. And then after 2 seconds, you need more until I guess you drank all the water. And it's like, you feel this pain and from what happened to you inside. And so you try to drown it out with whatever it could be, maybe drinking. I know that's why a lot of people have issues with with alcoholism because they're trying to run away from trauma. Because when you drink, you don't feel that much, or maybe you feel more. But I know that they do it because for depression and things, they run to that, and so they kind of drown. They try to distract themselves from what's reality and use that. And there's an example for that. Looking back at my life, I've seen how the way I've escaped reality was through my laptop, right? My parents split up, and then I saw all those things happen or whatever, right? So the best way for me to not think about, cope, and also not think about the reality that I guess I don't have with my parents is my laptop, because why would I worry about my dad who says he's coming on the weekend but doesn't come when I have my laptop that never leaves the spaces that it's in?
Wow, that's
what
powerful.
I mean? It's I'm getting excited that my dad's going to come on the weekend. He doesn't come, but then my laptop is in the same spot. It's never going to leave. It's never going to leave my area, So it's where am I going to go to? I'm going to go to that laptop because it's always there. I find people on it. I talk to people. It gives me joy. It gives me peace. That was my hiding place, you know? And so I think for a good question for everybody would be, you know, what's your hiding place? Because I do feel like maybe it's your laptop. Maybe it's like a computer or something. Maybe you run to your PC or laptop to find that peace, to find that escape from the reality that you don't want to be a part of or you don't want to look at.
Maybe it's work.
Yeah, that's a really good example.
Some of you guys overwork to try to distract yourself.
Because you're not home at work. You're at work. You're focused on what's happening at work, not at what's happening at home or what's happening inside you.
Wow.
You know? So it's like, the question is, what are you, or where is your hiding place? You know? Like, where is that hiding place? Is it your work? Is it your laptop?
Wow.
Is it drugs? Is it drinking? Like, those are things that we can hide in from our reality.
Now, I want to touch...
Which is that water.
Yeah. I want to touch on what you talked about, actually. When in your life... So the way I wanted to relate this was wounds. These pasts and these traumas and these pains are all wounds that are caused to us, right?
Yeah.
And whether they're huge wounds or whether they're small, you know, this doesn't have to be about if abuse and all that. It could be small things that were said to you maybe by parents that made you feel a certain way, or just literally anything that has put chains on your life. That is what we're talking about.
That's very true.
Not just the big ones. We're talking about small wounds, big wounds, whatever wounds you have.
Words that have been said over you that you still believe to this day.
Because I know everybody knows paper cuts hurt like crazy. And they're tiny, not even visible ones. So even the small wounds need to be cured.
Anything, and the thing is that seems foolish, you know, when you get a paper cut. How'd you get a paper cut?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, how did that word that was spoken over you 12 years ago hurt you?
But
like, still. How does that still hurt you? Like 5 years ago, how does that still hurt you? Because it does.
It does.
It does hurt you. So that's an amazing point. Wow.
So yeah, so wounds, right? Now, when we live life, sometimes these wounds, if they're not healed, they can open up again. Or they could stretch. So when in your life, all right, so you found your hiding place in your laptop, but obviously your laptop wasn't curing the wound.
No.
It was just putting a Band-Aid over it. So what were times in your life that you saw that wound open up again where you're like, wow, I need to heal this?
Well, I would say this morning I actually prayed a prayer, which I want to get to this later. I prayed this prayer that I feel like everybody at one moment in their life should definitely pray this prayer. It's a very nice prayer, a very like intense one, you know, and it's, you say like, God, show me how my past affects my actions in the present.
Wow. I just got goosebumps, bro. That's good.
That, if you could pray that, you're going to see a lot of freedom, and you're going to see a lot of chains that you didn't even know was there, and you're going to see your eyes open.
Wow.
Because I prayed that this morning, and like God showed me, you know, like God showed me, wow, this is something that like that I did in my past that I actually still do now, you know?
Wow.
And it's like, that's insane. And
there's so many chains that we have on us that we don't even understand or even acknowledge, because we're like you said, how could a small word affect us? And we don't even notice that it affects us until God reveals that to us. And that's crazy that you said that, because I've done that prayer. And in that instance, he'll show me years ago, a moment years ago, as if it was vivid of this is when that chain started gripping you. Yeah. And it's powerful, bro. Yeah. It's powerful because once you know that chain's on you, you know it's time to get it off. Wow, that's so good. That's awesome.
Yeah, and like I guess like for a better answer to your question, it's like just in moments when I would face, I guess, rejection, you know, that rejection I kind of struggle with as like a child, I kind of put that view on God where I thought that God was going to reject me, you know? So that wound opened up in that moment when I messed up, when I fell to sin, and I'm like, damn, God hates me now. Wow. God does not want anything to do with me because I'm dirty and I'm unclean. And I'm not the way I used to be in the beginning of my faith. So that kind of popped up again. And then I had to realize that, dang, God isn't like that. He's not mad at me. Like, so that's like just a better answer to your question. Like, where did that wound open up again? Wow. But yeah, like those hiding places, yeah, you could hide in them, but it's not a real cure. You know, it's not going to cure what happened to you. Right. So it's like, what do we do?
We clean the wound.
Yeah.
There's a process. There's a process when you get a wound, and some of you know it, some of you don't. You gotta clean it first. Make sure that it doesn't get infected. Because if it gets infected, it spreads across your whole body. See where I'm getting that? If you leave this wound, it will get bigger.
Wow.
It will be infectious. Your wound will start infecting into your relationships, into your friendships, into how you do your life, how you do your career, how you do your faith. Some of your past, some of your traumas are
coming
putting
out.
this roadblock, thank you. Putting this roadblock between you and God that's not letting you fully experience him. Or a roadblock for your friends where, don't get too close. I can't really share my personal stuff because of this. You might hurt me. There's so many roadblocks that are happening because of these wounds. So these wounds need to be cleaned so they don't get infectious. That's the first step. How do you clean that?
I would say you got to face it.
How do you face it?
It's like you have the wound, but if you don't take care of it, it's kind of like you said, get infected. So you have to look at the wound when you have it. You have to stare at it and say, I need to do something about this.
Right. Acknowledgement. That's all.
You have to acknowledgement. And that's what it is. The first step I feel is like you have to acknowledge and understand
where it came from.
Like what's the wound?
Yeah.
What's your wound? What's your past? What happened to you? Like you have to face it because like you said, you go to the hiding place, you're not facing it there. You're running from it.
Right.
You're not facing it. So it takes an intentional step to look back and say, what in my past has caused me to act this way?
Yeah.
What is something that I've been trying to like really put down inside and not look at because I don't want to look at it because I don't want to deal with it. It's time to face it, which is I feel like the most I just feel it. It's this very the most important step I feel because it's so easy, so easy to not deal with yourself.
Oh yeah,
it's so easy to not deal with your past hurts and your trauma. It's so easy because it's easy to not because it hurts if anything, right? It hurts to look back and be like, I don't want to think about that.
Right.
Why would I want to think about that? But when you look at it, you begin to see the patterns that what happened because of what was caused in you after that thing, after that relationship, after what happened to you. You see what that has caused. And then when you do that, you're then able to figure out how to clean it, how to heal. That initial step starts the healing process.
And I would say the next part of the healing process is forgiveness. And I know a lot of you do not want to hear that. Yeah. A lot of you were like, no, don't tell me that. How could I? We have a whole episode on forgiveness. Go check that out. I'll have the link in the description.
But we definitely can say it's very easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Anybody can say, forgive your brother 70 times 7. Very much harder to actually forgive somebody.
And forgiveness doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And guess what? Wounds turn into scars. And I think scars are powerful. I think scars tell a story. I think just because you forgive doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you forgive didn't mean they didn't wound you. So, but when you forgive, and we talk about it in the episode that I'm talking about, but it sets you and them free. And that's what I'm talking about of when you have this wound, your past follows you and it becomes infectious. But when you forgive, it's like, okay, now it's me and Jesus. You are away from this. You are no longer associated with this wound. It happened. It's done. I forgive you. Now it's time for me to heal.
Wow.
But what happens is if you don't forgive, when you see this person, when you even hear their name, this wound is going to open up.
You're going to get mad when they're basically doing fine in peace, and you're the one that's actually struggling yourself.
And this vision I got was picture Jesus healing the wound for you, right? He's stitching you up. Some of you need stitches. Some of you need surgery, whatever it is.
All of us need surgery.
But God's sitting right there, doing the stitches. Guess what the doctor has to do? He says, "Sit still," because if you move,
so you're gonna get messed up.
It's gonna mess up. You need to sit still. But if you're over here like angry and getting and confronting this person and having this whole issue, you can't sit still. When you forgive, you're able to sit still in the presence of Jesus. You say, like I said, you're not associated with this anymore. Like, this is done. You caused the wound, but you're forgiven. I forgive you. Now it's time for me to heal. But you need to sit still. You need to sit still.
And like something I'm getting is when God tells us to forgive others, he's not telling us to feel different about them in the moment. You know, he's just telling us to forgive. That does not mean that you have to feel as if you don't hate them anymore. Maybe you still do hate them. Maybe you're just working through it. When you forgive somebody, it's not that you're going to stop feeling how you feel. Okay. Feelings are feelings, and the end goal, yes, is that you will be free from that and that you will not feel anything. You'll be in peace. But sometimes in the moment, you're most likely might not going to just be completely free from how you feel towards that person. Completely, yeah. Because
I would be careful, because if there's still hate in your heart, I don't know if you've forgiven.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that's the thing, like that's faith. Faith is saying, I actually still like kind of harbor resentment, but I want to forgive them.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say here. You know, it's like,
that's the thing. That's the thing with this topic is there's like, it's a process, but there's process in the process. And in the episode with forgiveness, we talk about forgiveness being a whole process, which is what you're talking about. I still have resentment, but I want to forgive.
And then that resentment is being fleshed out. Like I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Because you feel how you feel.
Because when you've fully forgiven, there will be no resentment. There will be no hate. Right. So.
But it's a process.
It is a process.
I could say that from experience. Like, it's hard.
So we have acknowledge the wound and enter the process of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Which means you are now in the process of healing.
And another step could be just tell somebody.
Open up, man.
Open up to a trusted friend.
Yeah.
Try to be a person in the faith. You know, a person who can tell you what God says about things, you know. But do tell somebody. You know, like we are, what's the first thing that God said wasn't good? That man should be alone. Right? We do this thing called life together with your friends. Yeah. And if I didn't have the friends I have that I could share my struggles with, what am I going to do? Just struggle by myself and suffer by myself?
Of course.
Like, we need mentors. We need somebody that we can go to for help. We need a friend that's with us going through it together. We need those things to go through this thing called life. You know? And so I would say one step, another step is find somebody and, you know, tell them.
All that built up stuff from the past, it's time to let it go. Yeah.
Like, do it, you know, like free yourself. Like, just share that. Share what's in your heart. Yeah. Share what's in your heart, because it's super important.
It's so liberating. It's crazy. I told you, I think I told you before, but I feel like God's working the gift of mercy into me. Where I can start, like, sometimes I get a glimpse of what somebody else could be feeling, and I kind of feel it for myself. And I felt that as you were saying that, where it's like, there's going to be so much liberation for you when you do this.
And like, as at this very moment that we're sharing this, like, 3 of my friends were all trying to heal from our past. We're trying to heal from our past. Like we were talking about yesterday because we had a little dinner with our neighbors, and we were just sharing how we had this moment where we're like 3 of my close friends, we just started sharing our past.
Wow.
And like, it was so amazing to be able to, you know, do that and not be judged, not be laughed at. That is a safe area, a safe space to be like,
wow,
this is something I struggle with, and I want to share with you guys because I don't know what to do. Yeah. You know, like, that's so powerful. That's so powerful.
And hey, we're here too.
Yeah.
We listen, when we get your messages, we like to sit down, we like to talk about it.
It brightens up our day.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's not just like, it doesn't have to be like, you know, I'm like, what, you guys are doing so cool. Like, we appreciate that always. But it could also be like, hey guys, I'm struggling with this.
Absolutely. Like listen, I don't want to do this for any wrong reason. I'm here to try to build community with you guys.
We're here to just build community and to help each other. Maybe one of you guys are listening knows more about this than us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like what? Like okay, like we're gonna take that. Like we want to build community. We want to help each other. We want everybody here to heal from their past. Everything that we speak about is that so we can all together grow as one, grow as one in Christ. You know, get free, grow, become free, become liberated. Like we want these things for you guys and for each other, for both of us, and for everybody that listens. Like that's this is what we're here for, dude. Yeah. You know, like we want everybody to hear this. We're here for this. That's what we're here for. You know, and to get to another step, I feel like we kind of just skipped over. Bring it to God.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how we kind of talked about. That's like number 1, number 2. Like after you recognize it, I can't believe we skipped it. Like bring it to God.
Yeah.
Like God knows everything.
Lay it down. Yeah.
Lay it down in front of him. Like tell him, like, yo, that's I feel huge. This way. Like this is what God wants, a relationship with us, and this is what he wants. That's
the thing. Like you're not in this alone at all. And if you feel that way, like that's a lie that's in your head.
Yeah.
When you give it to God, like it's literally what the words are saying. You give it to God. He's the one that carries that baggage for you. You're not carrying that anymore. So when you say, God, this is my past, this is my feelings, this is what's going on, I give it to you right now. This is yours, it's not mine. So God's gonna liberate you from that. He's gonna take that from you.
It's so good. Like you're not hiding in that place, in that false area, that hiding place you used to hide in. You're now hiding in the Most High God, where he says, amen. Like there's a verse in Proverbs where it's like, you know, you're my high tower. Yeah. You know, it's like you go into a high tower to run away from the war and what's going on the ground, but you go to that high tower so you're safe up there. It's like God is that high tower for us. We can hide in him. We can hide in his wings, right? Like God is like has wings over us and we're under him, like we're hidden in him. So it's like we're no longer hiding ourselves in those hiding places that don't do us any good. We're hiding in God now, you know? And there's 2 verses I want to share that God talks about when it comes to this, right? 1 Peter 5:7. Give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. Like God cares about you. He cares about you, me, everybody listening, the whole entire world. He cares about us and he wants us to give him our worries and our cares. When you feel that way, when that thing rises up again, tell him. He wants to hear it. And like another verse, Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and bandages their wounds.
Wow.
You were just saying.
Yeah.
Like he heals the brokenhearted. And I don't know if it's this verse, but it's in a different version or a different verse where it says that God is close to the brokenhearted. You know, it's one thing. It's an amazing thing to recognize that, yeah, I'm broken. And it's another thing to know that, dang, God is close to me in this brokenness. When you're in that place of like, I don't know what to do, I'm broken, God is with you.
Wow.
When you feel alone, like God is with you. And that's a promise.
Wow. Liberation, freedom. That's so awesome. That's all awesome stuff. And listen, I just got like put upon me, like this week, me and you want to dedicate that to this episode. We're going to be praying for liberation and freedom from the past. I feel like that's like a theme for us this week that we should talk about. I mean, just constantly posting and and you guys catching us up, like how's your healing process going, what we could pray for, all that stuff, because this is huge. When you let go of these chains, you will be free and you will be able to continue growing in your faith and your relationships and unity and all that, because we don't want the past to keep holding you down.
No, definitely not. Your past is
your
past does not define you.
Amen.
You're not your past.
Nope.
You're a son and daughter of God. You're not that. You know, and we want everybody here to heal.
Yeah.
And we're going to. Yep. We're going to face that. We're going to bring it to God. We're going to try our best to initiate that forgiveness. Yeah. And we're going to tell our friends.
Heal them to the point where they turn to scars, because I have a scar on my finger where I almost cut it off once at work. But now I could smack it. I could crack my fingers. I forget that it's there because it's a scar now, but it still happened. Right? This process is not to just forget about what happened, because what happened. is still gonna be there, but this doesn't affect me anymore. What this does is it shows God's glory and his healing power that he did in my life. So when somebody says, how'd you get that wound? Oh yeah, this is when God, this happened, but God saved me and look at me now.
That's one thing I forgot to even say. Like, those wounds become scars and you can show others those scars. Wow. You can tell somebody about your scars. I went through this one thing. I was able to get through it and I want to help you. Wow. Yeah. It's like you're able to do that now since you've initiated that healing process. Maybe as of right now, you're even healed. Maybe somebody's actually healed from something that happened in the past and you're helping somebody right now. Like, that's amazing. Awesome. That's amazing. Like, that's what we can do.
Awesome. Well, guys, we're praying for freedom. We're praying for liberation. Thank you guys for tuning in.
We're just out here, man.
We're out here. We're trying to help.
We love Jesus and we're trying to be better and we're trying to do what we can do. And that's all there is to it.
Prayers out. Love is out. We love you guys. And we'll see you guys for the next episode.
See you guys.
Peace out.